full professor and faculty member at Logan College of Chiropractic. Now, let's get right to the doctor.
Hey, hello out there to all of you people that are listening this morning. It's Memorial Weekend, and we're getting ready to gear up for some respect for our troops that have protected our country. This is Dr. Pete Pagano. Yes, Dr. Pete Pagano. Dr. Cranwell will be with us shortly. He had to take care of it. He shall be here. I promise you that. Anyway, my number at my office is 314-576-3000. I want to welcome you. You're listening to 1010 AM, or if you're on FM, it's 104.5, and it's right to the doctor. If you call in today, you'll be getting your choice of either a cervical pillow or a supplement of your choice. And we do have some great supplements today. So if you're interested in that, please give us a call. Let me know what your individual problems are. As a dentist, I'm better north of the neck. I'll do my best. I'll give you a caveat that you probably want to check out what I say below the neck with your physician. Yeah, it's a thing you might want to do because my training is specifically dental, and it's above the neck. But at this point, I want to do a shout out to one of my patients. That would be Piola. If you're listening out there, Piola, I want to say hello and acknowledge you because you are one special lady. And when I say that, I mean that, Dr. Cranwell and myself, we talk about alignment so often. We talk about skeletal alignment. And skeletal alignment is very important, especially in the spine. And Dr. Cranwell, being a chiropractor, is very, very excellent at aligning the spine. And it's very important for health that the spinal column, each individual bone or vertebra, is aligned properly for normal flow of blood and proper innervation of nerves. Key to health, because those nerves and blood vessels go to the organs in our body. And those organs, in order to function correctly, to metabolize correctly, have to have alignment to allow the blood flow and nervous system to innervate the tissues. So that's very important. But the reason I'm calling or shouting out to Piola is because she's not only interested in aligning her spine, but she also has taken the time to align her spiritual energies, and her meditative thoughts have been geared at handling alignment of what is going on spiritually within her body. Okay? So we all have thoughts, we have minds, and then we also have this component called the spirit. So, we talk about these things, and we have this body of knowledge that we all operate out of, right? Well, this knowledge is different from person to person. We all have the capacity to always learn more. However, the recognition of the fact that you just don't know everything has to be there. Some people walk around thinking they know it all, everything, but they actually don't. And as soon as you have that cognition that you don't, then you can start learning. And then you start growing. And then you can start improving. And you do that by imploring the divinity, which has an unlimited source of knowledge. There is an abundance of knowledge there for our disposal if we know that it's there and we actually utilize it. Okay? Sola has done this. She's actually looked. And this knowledge has, if you will, is grace. Okay? It's a knowledge of grace. And it provides a knowledge and knowingness, an awareness, a perception of what it is that's going on with not only your body, but with your life, with you. You are the most important thing, and you actually are the one that actually drives the body. You're the one that your mental attitude. People say, well, you got to have a positive mental attitude. Well, your mental attitude is the driving force for what goes on with your organs in your body, and your attitude actually creates disease, as Dr. Cranwell would say, or health. So it's very important that you get your dauber up, you get your attitude up, and that you actually look to other sources of knowledge to create more awareness and to help you with life's problems, whether they be physical, mental, or spiritual. And this is really the key. Piola has taken upon herself not only to correct physical conditions in her own body, but she also has taken the time to look within and without to correct not only bodily, but also mental and spiritual things. And I wanted to acknowledge Piola for that, because that's a big deal. And that's something that people kind of overlook today. It's like, come on, give me a drug, give me a medicine, give me something, give me a supplement that will make me feel better. It's like, hey, how about you taking some responsibility for yourself? Okay, we're not victims out here. We're supposed to be pretty able persons and beings, but you have to realize that you do have abilities, and that your abilities can take you to new vistas of health and actual welfare within your own realm of your universe that you create every day. And the things that you create actually make you feel better or worse. So I want to say, very well done, Piola. You've been taking charge. And all those of you that are listening to this, I want you to maybe this weekend do a little reflection and help yourselves more than you ever could have ever realized. And with that, I want to say good morning to Dr. Cranwell.
Well, thank you, Dr. Pagano, and a very happy day to you and a good morning to you. And yes, I mean, absolutely. In the chiropractic realm, our major objective is always to look to the body, to look to the chemistry. And as we've always said too, you and I, either it's going to be a biomechanical or a biochemical, or most of the time it's a combination of both, but it's right there. Look to the source of all disease right there at the patient's, right there to the body. So if you're looking for things and aches and pains and the reason and the cause, hey, just look right there in the mirror. It's all right there. And all the things what we do, Dr. Pagano, being a dentist, myself, Dr. Cranwell is a chiropractor, hey, we just look to the body. We interpret all these signs and symptoms. We analyze them. We investigate them. And as I've always said, we put them together like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. What really is going wrong here? And we can go all the way back to the history of medicine, Hippocrates, Socrates, all those individuals.
Oh my gosh.
I would, as a student said to me in class
Sounds
last
pretty
week
Greek
when I was talking about this, and he said, "Well, Dr. Cranwell," he said, "you don't look that old." And I said, "No, I wasn't there, but I've done the reading, and first courses at the medical school was the history of medicine that we took, and it was not elective; it was a required course, and that's where I studied all this stuff. And those individuals at that time made statements such as looking to the spine as the source of all dis-ease, not disease, but dis-ease.
Exactly.
You just don't feel right. Something's not working right. This, that, whatever the case may be. I'm not sleeping well. I'm dreaming all night. I'm tossing and turning. I'm just not concentrating as much as I used to. I have a brain fog. I find myself unable to read a page in a book anymore. I just can't focus anymore. And those are things, folks, that, there's something has gone awry, if you will. And that's where you want your physician to do investigative work to find out what is going on. And, just in my lecture to the student at Logan University this morning, who would ever go to a chiropractor because they can't concentrate? would go to a chiropractor because they're tossing and turning at night? Who would go to a chiropractor because they're having nightmares every night? Who would go to a chiropractor because, I feel like I'm having a brain fog? But this is a individual, a disciplined chiropractor could really go to start out with. Now, granted, as you will know, Dr. and all the other people out there, there's a whole lot of reasons for this. The brain freeze, the inability to concentrate, the tossing and turning at night, the insomnia, the dreaming, the nightmares. Oh my God, there's a whole host of problems. But I will tell you, and looking at you and we've been in our own profession for over 40 years, so we got 80 years of experience here. My gosh, that in itself says a lot, and we're still, we haven't retired. Why? Because we're really interested, we're passionate about taking care of people and helping people naturally, figuring out the cause. Now, I will tell you what, all these symptoms I just mentioned, yes, many, many times, and let a chiropractor look at it first and or a dentist, or because why? Because if it is a dental problem, if it is a jaw problem, if it is an upper neck problem, those things can be fixed, folks, without drugs, without surgery, without pharmaceuticals, without therapy. It may be nothing more for our listeners out there than a misalignment. It could be a dental misalignment, a or cervical. The neck is made out of 7 cervical vertebrae. Any one of those can misalign. Well, how can they do that? Very, very easily. What do we do? We're constantly using our neck. Dr. Pagano and I are using our neck now by looking at each other. We're rotating. All right. Paul,
You're looking good, Dr. Cranwell.
Absolutely. Paul, our engineer, is using her neck by looking up at the ceiling right now and turning to her left. All right. What do you think, folks, allows you to do those things? But the vertebra in the neck. What do we do throughout the day? We eat. What allows us to eat? The use of our jaw joint, okay? A hinge joint.
And the teeth.
And the teeth in order to chew
get that in there.
Absolutely. So you have to be able to chew because, again, where's your health coming from? The food that you eat. Well, if you can't eat, all right, you can't chew properly, the food's not going to be digested, then it's not going to be able to be optimally absorbed, then it's not going to be optimally eliminated, and the ball, let's say, keeps rolling like the snowball going down the hill. The further down the hill it goes, it picks up speed, and the snowball gets bigger and bigger. As Dr. Pagano and I have always said, the cascading events. I call it the domino effect. Same principle, okay? So therefore, go to the practitioner, involve yourself in the discipline that can possibly help you, many times fix the problem without pharmaceuticals and drugs and surgery. Because again, folks, we all know, if you don't think so, check with your local pharmacist. They'll tell you all medications, all pharmaceuticals have side effects. Now, you've been on a medication for a number of years. I haven't had any side effects. Give it time, folks. They talk about the accumulative effects sooner or later. Patients will come to our office, Dr. Pagano or myself, and say, well, I've been on that statin medication now for years. I have no effects. Then all of a sudden, or the next patient comes in, all of a sudden I'm having these muscle and joint aches and pains. Well, where did it come from? Well, I've been taking, folks, the accumulative effect. Or maybe the changes so subtle, you never thought about it. You never thought about it. Or put the two of them together. And all of a sudden now it's become to the point now, folks, where these symptoms are controlling your life versus in the past, you've been in control. So, why in the world, again, going back to my initial statement, would a patient show up at a chiropractor's office for tossing and turning at night, for having dreams, for having nightmares, with the inability to concentrate, with having brain fog? I can't think straight anymore, Doc. I just don't feel right.
Well, Dr. Cranwell, at the beginning of the show, I also mentioned that some people don't have good alignment of their attitude and their mental focus and the way they actually handle things mentally and spiritually. And we talked a little bit about that. We also, last week, about laughter and how laughter can affect one's health and how
Absolutely.
important it is to have a little mirth in your life. Some gaiety is very
Amen.
important, isn't it?
Absolutely. And Paula
Absolutely.
just stood up now. I mean, she's so in
Yes,
tune with this. And I will say this, on the way to the station today, Dr. Picano, I was listening to you. And I was thinking, right on. But, now let's go back, though.
God love you.
We want the love. We want
You
the
were
humor.
listening to me?
I was.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, Dr.
Uh,
Cranwell, I'm honored.
well,
That's
I had nothing else to
amazing.
do. I was driving.
Oh, okay. So you had nothing else to do there. Okay, now
However,
the truth's coming out now.
rather than just driving, I thought I'm going to make use of this good time and turn on 1010 on the AM dial. And
you could have done 104.5
and 104.5, but I don't have that tuned into my radio yet. But again, for all of our listening audience, you can listen simultaneously, I believe, right now on 104.5 on the
symphonically.
FM. Yes, and 1010
Stereo
on the AM dial.
symphonically.
And so I was making you, and sure. Now, if the individual, and we're promoting, yes, laughter, and we've always said, I say that probably every day, numerous times every day in the office, because when I first walk into a treatment room, I will ask the patient how they're feeling. And okay, really? Or the patient will say, hey, Dr. Cranwell, how are you feeling? My response is, as you know, terrific, dynamite, superb, awesome, fantastic, truly blessed. That will always, always, without exception, that patient will start to smile, just like you did. They'll start to smile. They'll maybe even chuckle a little bit. What have I done? I've set the tone. I've changed their attitude. Even no matter how bad they feel, they've been carried in, let's say, they're all bent over. They're antalgic. They're in pain. Yeah, hearing all that stuff and my attitude and the tone of my voice when I say that, that changes their attitude. However, a person in pain, discomfort, not sleeping well at night because they're tossing and turning, they're having nightmares. What happens after every dream or every nightmare? You wake up, okay? And then many times you have trouble falling back to sleep. So interrupted sleep. Now all of a sudden they can't concentrate. They're having a brain fog, brain freeze. They can't read a full page because they can't focus. All right. So again,
I thought they had a Ritalin deficiency. That was the reason they couldn't focus. Come on, what is
now,
it? Adderall. Maybe Adderall would work, don't you think?
Now, see, you're jumping ahead of me right now, and always because
I figure
again,
that's all they need.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay, now you're being facetious now. But anyway, okay. But again, too, as I just mentioned, Dr. Bogano, they go on these pharmaceuticals, but as we all know, pharmaceuticals, even a little aspirin, does have side effects. Maybe not today, tomorrow, but you start adding and adding. Now all of a sudden it's been 10 years you've been taking it, and before you know it, the cumulative effect, and they start causing symptoms. Then what happens? They take another medication to counter the symptoms of the drug-induced symptoms. In fact, there's a book, one of my favorite, written by 5 pharmacists. It's called Drug-Induced Nutrient Depletion. All right. So not only can it cause other symptoms, but can cause nutrient depletion, destroying zinc, magnesium, calcium, protein, whatever the case may be. The patient's not aware of that, tells the doctor about these new symptoms. The doctor gives them another medication to counter that. Before you know it, they come into your office or my office with a whole list of medications, 10, 12, 15. The worst I've ever seen was a lady came in and she brought her grocery bag to bring them in with me because she just wanted to see on the first visit 22 different medications.
Well,
I
Dr.
said, well, that's like a walk-in pharmacy. I said, when do you have it? She said, well, I really don't, because this medication has to be taken in the morning. This one has to be taken at noon. This one has to be taken 3 hours after the first one. I mean, her whole life was doing nothing but taking medications.
She was on the drug merry-go-round.
She was on the drug merry-go-round. So,
hey, Dr. Cranwell.
Hey, Dr. Pagano.
What do you think about it begs the question of, is there a side effect of being educated your entire life, your entire education life on medications? Do you think that may have a play in how people think during the time they're being educated? How do they connect dots? What's their judgment like as a result of being medicated throughout the entire educational process? Did you have any
And
thought?
you're looking at me asking that
Because
question with
I
a
think
straight face?
I think that's a side effect in itself. You talk about side effects.
No,
I think drug-induced educational processes is kind of like a life side effect. What do you think about
absolutely.
that, Dr. Cranwell?
Absolutely. Amen.
Amen. I like it.
Amen.
He made a prayer out of it.
We're going to have some applause here. All right. But yes, okay. And so, therefore, these children, there was an interesting, this goes back a few years ago, and made a promise that if I do this, she would do that. And so, therefore, her request is that I accompany her to a shopping mall
Ah,
that Saturday afternoon. Okay, now what am I going to do? I'm not going to go in the store, okay, so I've used the word. I'm just moseying around out in the outlet mall there, indoors, and there was a health fair. Well, curiosity breeds curiosity.
health
Uh,
fair.
Okay, and there was various vendors and groups and various hospitals of the neighborhood, etc., had tables and booths, and they were educating, okay, on this Saturday afternoon. So my wife, while she is out shopping and spending the money, I thought I'd get educated. All right. There's one local hospital there had a booth and had some signs and placards up there, and caught my eye, Ritalin. Well, I mean, I went right there to like honey. I mean, I'm going right there
You
because
probably have a deficiency in it. That's why you went that
I
direction.
guess so. I mean, because part of our body does go towards something that you're deficient in, and we've talked about sugar and all that kind of stuff in the
Sure.
past. But anyway, interesting though, on these placards, there were two of them. One, they both had Ritalin on it, okay? And underneath the word Ritalin, it said ages from 0 to 18. The other one had 18 to adult, okay? Different side effects. On the 0 to 18, Ritalin had a sedative effect.
Paradoxical. It's a paradoxical because Ritalin speed, and if it slows you down, it's considered or called a paradoxical effect.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Amen.
So you know what really happens, right?
Well, now hold on. I'm going to add this, and then you can have your say so. Okay. I raised my hand. All right.
Oh, I gotta raise my hand.
Yeah,
now.
well,
The rules changed. I didn't know
well,
that.
And so anyway, and over on list of Ritalin from 18-year-old on, it induced. Okay, it was a stimulant. So I couldn't help myself, and there was a young lady there, and she had a little badge on her with an RN BSN behind her name, and I said, well, I'm confused, you know, that this medication and the body physiology knew when the patient turns 18, now we're going to turn it around, and now we're going to stimulate them. And she said, well, that's just the way we found it works. And that's the only explanation she could give to me. Now,
What age did it turn around?
18.
Okay. What's the drinking age?
We're going to take a station break on that note. Yes, we'll be right back.
KXEN St. Louis.
We are right back already. So, folks, anyway, you're listening to Right to the Doctor. Airs each and every Friday morning. The program that you're listening to right now is live. Dr. Pagano, Pete Pagano here is a dentist. I, Dr. Richard Cranwell, am a chiropractor and nutritionalist. You are listening to us right now. We are here in the studio. This is not recorded. So therefore, we invite you, we encourage you to give us a call, 314-881-1695. Again, 314-881-1695. You call that number. We take your phone call. We talk to you. We'll send you a gift. So therefore, it's a win. And as you heard Dr. Pagano say at the top of the hour, hey, you call, we'll send you a gift. And that gift is your choice. You have a choice for a cervical pillow or a nutritional supplement that I do carry at the office. And we will send that to you, folks, at no charge to you. We pay the shipping, the handling, the postage. And you're thinking, where's the catch, folks? There's no catch. Currently, we are in our 23rd year of weekly live broadcast. So therefore, we're not going anywhere. And Dr. Pagano's been in practice for 40 years in West St. Louis County. I've been in practice in South County for 41 years. And so we're not going anywhere. We're not fly-by-nights. We're here today and gone tomorrow. We are here. All right. And we do send our patients, ours here, because we want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to give us a call on the radio here and make the hour interesting and informative, because again, so many times you, a listener, have decided to become patients of Dr. Pagano or myself. You've come in, and I've always asked, what brought you in here? Well, I've been listening to your radio. How long have you been listening? Oh, I've been listening for months. And gradually I got to know you, and, I like what you say. It makes sense. And particularly, I listened to another caller the other day who said, hey, that's exactly what I'm troubled with. So therefore, folks, not only can you be doing your blessing, but who knows, your phone call to us now may convince another listener to become a patient and get some help, because we're all about giving the body what it needs. Now, going back before we get too far off, Dr. Pagano, the thing I was mentioning before about, the misalignment, a problem in the neck, a problem in the jaw, a problem in the teeth, those problems in that area north of the shoulders can be causing things such as brain fog, inability to concentrate.
I still think it's a Ritalin deficiency.
Yeah, you've been on that too long.
No, I didn't. I just want to ask anyone that may know, because I don't know personally, and if any of you out there are listening and you know what chemical or chemicals are actually unbalanced in this neurological brain theory, opinion, not fact, I want you to call in and educate us on what is the imbalance, because I know that the theory is we give you these medications because you have a chemical imbalance.
Yes.
Chemical imbalance is the word that sells the prescriptive medication for the student. They start about 3, 4, 5, and they're on it for the rest of their lives. To me, I'm not in favor of that type of thing, but I don't understand the whole theory that's being purported to the public. So if any of you are listening and you can enlighten us, please call in. We'd love to hear from you.
Now, that being said, true, okay, and they're trying to balance the brain with this medication, okay? What are we about? Hey, let's give the brain what it needs in order to do its job. Now, we've talked about so many times biochemical, all right? And what you just asked the folks out there in the listening audience, if they know the biochemical aspect, to call in. All right, now let's say this, because literally every day, all right? And I personally have had this experience just last week. Now, so not sleeping well at night, I'm tossing and turning. I'm starting to have dreams. A couple of night dreams became very scary. Yeah, really. And okay, I find myself not being able to read a full page, and I know that's a problem. So therefore, I went to my chiropractor. He took some x-rays, he did an exam, he made an adjustment to my neck, and now for the past 5 nights, I go to bed, I sleep all night, I'm no longer tossing and turning, and I can sit and read a full page. That's what happens in a chiropractor's office. My office, the chiropractor that I went to, his office, okay? Now, what's the connection there? Going up through the bones in the neck, the vertebra in the neck, all 7 of them, 7 cervical vertebrae, folks, going up through those bones, not only the spinal cord, but also the blood supply, the vertebral artery, so that if one of those vertebrae in your neck, especially number 1, the atlas right underneath your skull, if that's not just quite aligned properly, it's going to impinge, it's going to restrict, it's going to the brain. All of a sudden the blood supply isn't getting adequate, optimum blood supply. And what does the blood bring? But oxygen and nutrients, nutrition. Whether it be minerals, vitamins, whatever, carbohydrates, fats, protein, all that stuff, all the nutrition that the brain needs to function. It's not getting that. So what does the brain do? It can't function as it should. It goes into a hyper state. It's getting concerned. It's getting worried. Oh my gosh, I can't function like that. Then the headaches start. All those things, folks,
And the
yes.
brain fog, that brain
And the
fog.
brain fog, exactly. So therefore, can we tie this in with the individuals that have been diagnosed as for a need of Ritalin? Absolutely. Okay.
Our other benzodiazepines, we want to talk about opioids, but let's talk about benzodiazepines. They're out there, they're like candy doses. They're giving them out everywhere, everybody. It's like the whole world needs benzodiazepines because they're going to make you feel great. Okay, you just don't know exactly what exactly is going on in your environment because you're drugged.
And you're feeling great though, but it's not naturally. And the cause of the initial deficiency continues to grow. Then all of a sudden, that particular medication is not doing the job. So what do? Okay, I had a new patient came in the office just the other day, Dr. Pagano. I think it was Monday of this week or so, and you know, new patient. And I said, well, has anybody else talked to you about the situation? And she says, well, I went to my primary care. I called the primary care about, my blood pressure's going up. Okay, how did I know? Because I take my blood pressure each and every day, and yes, it's going up. And as a little sidebar here, well, if you're taking your blood pressure every day and you notice it's going up, it's going to go up. It's because you're taking it every day and you see it going up. So, that type of thing. Well, anyway, she said, she got very upset because, a couple hours later, the nurse at the doctor's office called back and said the doctor said double your dose of high blood pressure medication. Didn't talk to the doctor. Okay, the doctor didn't know any other symptoms. Doctor didn't talk to the patient. Just the nurse called and said double the dose. Well, the patient wasn't too sure about that, but did that for 2 days. Felt worse, felt more lightheaded to the point that she wasn't able to function. So on her own, she cut it back to 1 dose. Called the doctor's office back again. And I know your listeners out there, your folks out there listening right now, I bet each and every one of you have had situations like this, okay, where the office calls and tells you just double the dose, triple the dose, or something like that. The doctor said, well, I'm going to write you another prescription. Told that to the nurse told the patient. Again, folks, though, the doctor never talked to the patient, didn't ask what other symptoms the patient was having, and into my office the patient comes because she was tired of this, as she called it, this run and no personal attention. Lo and behold, all right, all we found out that in this particular patient, she had a misalignment in her upper neck. And I start asking other questions. How are you sleeping at night, etc.? And to each question I asked, she answered affirmatively. And she starts looking at me, well, how do you know these things? Because these things didn't seem to have any continuity then. All right, the inability to sleep, the tossing and turning, also the diarrhea, also, her increased blood pressure.
I thought she had a neurotin deficiency.
You're on a roll today. Yes, sure. But anyway, with Bob on the line, let's talk to Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Hello, Bob. Good morning to you. I bet you do.
Well,
Yes. It does help some things.
just remember, Bob, aspirin is an acid. It's good for a while.
And I will tell you this for both of you right now, all listening, I have not met a yet. Who knows? I may meet somebody this afternoon that has an aspirin or Ritalin deficiency.
What pathways, Bob? Be specific. You know it's a theory, Bob, right? We're not talking about facts here. Right. How old was he? Okay, so he wasn't drinking any alcohol back then, huh? that you know of.
Yeah, that he knows of.
And he wasn't taking any other medications or recreational medications. No. Okay. That's because they want to sell it, Bob, to their classmates and make some cash.